Unicorns Talk is a weekly podcast where we discuss the ups and downs of the human experience, from personal growth to romantic relationships and everything in between. This show is for life livers, life lovers, and life enhancers. My name is Latrice Sampson Richards, your life enhancement coach, and together we're going to laugh, love, and learn to maneuver all of life's little messes. Let's go. Hey everybody, it's Latrice Sampson Richards here, your life enhancement coach, and you are tuned in to episode 16 of Unicorns Talk podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. For those of you who this may be your first time tuning in, welcome. Like I said before, my name is Latrice Sampson Richards. I am a licensed professional counselor and a certified life enhancement coach, specializing in life purpose and relationship coaching. And thank you so much for tuning in to my show. So, this week has been, actually the last 2 weeks have been actually really good weeks for me. I'm not going to lie. Last week I did not get a chance to put out an episode, and that was due to some technical issues that I was having. But I got everything sorted out, got everything worked out, and so I'm back. So thank you for joining me. Our topic for today is rewrite the narrative. And it was really kind of bred out of this course that I was taking. To be honest, I would participate in a group called the Live Richer Academy so that I can really work on getting my financial life in order. And so I was watching a video course earlier today, and the course was on healing your relationship to money, or your relationship with money. And so the instructor or the expert was saying, like talking about this narrative that we have in our minds about, our value and our worth, and the worth and the value of money itself. And it really got me to thinking about, how these personal narratives that we create really, affect how we interact with the world around us. And so I really wanted to talk about that today, and talk about how we can utilize our thoughts and the thought processes that we engage in to start manifesting and using those things to our benefit instead of allowing them to hold us back. So we're going to talk a little bit about the law of attraction today, how we can utilize our thoughts to our advantage and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to that. Our feature for today is going to be a high five. Y'all know I love a high five. So the feature for today is going to be actually 2 high fives, one for Shea Moisture and one for comedian Tiffany Haddish. And so we'll get into that later on in the episode. So let's go ahead and get started. So like I said before, I participate in a financial education group called the Live Richer Academy, and it's run by owned and operated by the Budgetnista, whose name is Tiffany Alche. I don't know. I always say that wrong. But the Budgetnista. And she's all about teaching people how to manage their finances. She believes that everyone should have like a basic financial education is a right, not a privilege. And so she gives a lot of information away for free. And she feels like, the basic stuff you should be able to get for free. And like the real deal stuff, like the higher level stuff, is stuff that you pay for. But even then, she really believes that she wants as many people to have access to the information as possible. And she is building an empire doing this. And so she's definitely one of those people that, as I build my business and my business model, I definitely look to her and look up to her for I don't know, I guess just encouragement, because she's being of service to the community, but also making a profit. And so I love that. But anyway, so the Live Richer Academy is one of my favorite I think it's one of the best purchases that I've made in a very long time. And so one of the programs, or I was watching one of the videos earlier today, and it was called Healing Your Relationship with Money. And so this is something that I've been putting a lot of thought into, because I realized that as I grow my business and as I build and develop myself, I'm realizing more and more the negative thoughts that I had around money and around my own value and things of that nature. And so the expert who was doing and I don't remember her name, and I'm so sorry for that, but I don't remember her name. But the expert that was doing the training, she said something about how we have these narratives in our minds about money, and that those narratives really come from a lot of different places, but that those narratives really shape the way that we interact with money. And that made so much sense to me because in my realm, here in the, personal development kind of realm, I talk to people about narratives all the time and about reshaping your perception and your thoughts about situations. I'm also a certified law of attraction provider. And so I have studied the law of attraction and how to implement the law of attraction in your everyday life in order to manifest the things that you want to see happen in your life. And obviously a big believer in the law of attraction. And so for some reason though, it never dawned on me to make that kind of connection to those narratives and my finances. But the reality is that there are different narratives in different life areas. So you can have a different narrative in each life area that you experience, right? So there is a financial narrative that you have in your head, like this personal narrative that you have in your head. There's also a narrative when it comes to relationships, to career. Like there's always this narrative. So the personal narrative, in my opinion, is something that you have created based on your experiences, okay? And so it's either negative or it's positive, and that's based on, again, if you've had negative experiences in this particular life area, you're more likely to have a negative personal narrative. If you've had positive experiences, then you're more likely to have a positive narrative in that particular life area, unless you are making an effort to do the opposite. So what that means is if you've primarily had negative experiences in any particular life area, if you choose to see the positive in it, then you will perceive that narrative as positive. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, okay? And vice versa. Like if you've had positive or primarily had positive experiences in that life area, but you are choosing to see those things as negative, then you will perceive that narrative as negative, or you would develop a negative narrative in your mind. So, some of the different narratives that exist, or some examples in each of these life areas, like for example, in your financial life, right? A very common narrative that I hear, and actually that I've said myself multiple times, is I'm just not that good with money. I'm not good at money. That's not my thing. I remember I said this to my husband a couple of weeks ago, and I was just like, I feel like I'm trying and I'm trying to implement these changes, and I do really well for a while, and then all of a sudden something pops up or something happens, or I forgot about this bill, or something crept up on me or something like that, and I guess I'm just not good with money, right? That's a negative narrative, personal narrative that I tell myself about my interaction with finances. And so excuse me, about my ability to manage my finances. And so what happens is I take that on as truth. And when it comes to things related to money, even in my business, but also in my private financial matters, now there's this shadow of doubt that has been cast around my ability in that area. And that shapes the way that I interact with money from that point on. right? Maybe I'm afraid to get into the stock market because I'm just not sure or confident about my ability to choose well because I'm not good with money. Right. Or maybe, like I don't know, it's just a thought process that kind of runs in my mind when it comes to my financial health. And so I'm really working hard on changing that narrative and thus changing my connection to money. In relationships, a biggie is people, like a lot of times we hear women say, I don't need a man. Right? And those thought processes probably have been developed as a result of some significant negative experiences, either directly or indirectly. But for whatever reason, this narrative that I don't need a man, or that men ain't no good, or that, I'm never going to find anybody, or I'm not good enough to be in a relationship, or I don't need love, I don't need nobody. You know what I'm saying? These are the negative personal narratives that we feed ourselves, a lot of times just to be able to survive, because our experiences were negative, or so negative that they taught us that we needed to survive that situation, and that was the only way that we knew how to make that happen. In our career, that negative narrative might sound like, I just need enough money to pay my bills, right? Or you have to do what you got to do, right? This idea that you can't, have it all. You can't have passion in your work and profitability in your work. Right? And I struggled with that for a long time as well. My passion is to help people, specifically Black people, right? My passion is to help us get our lives together collectively, and that starts on an individual level, right? But then I'm like, yeah, but, that's what I really want to do, but the people I really want to help can't afford my services. And so, I have to keep this bullshit ass job because I need to pay my bills, and I just can't have it all because I can't do a job full time and do a business full time and not getting paid for the business. And like, just this narrative kept going on and on and on in my mind. And so I'm learning how to find ways to be able to take care of myself and my family while also doing the work that I love, right? But it started with me having to address that narrative that was running through my brain or running through my mind, okay? So the narrative shapes the way we interact with the world. If we are going to manifest change, we have to begin with our mindset. And that is across all life areas. If you are hoping to enact any type of change in any area of your life, you have to begin with your thought process. Okay? So in comes the law of attraction. Okay? Really quickly, the law of attraction is a concept which states that what we put out into the universe in the form of our thoughts, the universe has no choice but to return to us in the form of our life experiences and manifestations, okay? And so your thoughts become a magnet for all of your desires, all right? Your thoughts manifest your experience. Deepak Chopra, which I'm sure everybody has heard of. If you haven't heard of Deepak Chopra, then do yourself a favor, please, and look him up. But in one of his books, and I don't remember the name of the book, y'all. Y'all know I'm not good with stuff like that. But I don't remember the exact name of the book. But I was listening to one of his books on tape, I remember, and there was a line that he said in the book, in the audio book, that really stood out to me, and I actually ended up rewinding it like 12 times because I didn't fully understand it when I first heard it. And so I had to keep hearing it in order to really be able to process it. And so what he said was, you are not in the world is in you. And it's something that's relatively simple, I suppose. It's not a extremely difficult concept to understand, but it took me a while to really wrap my head around that. Like, what does that mean? You are not in the world is in you. The law of attraction says that what we create in our mind is what we experience in our world. And so, what Deepak Chopra is saying is that once you are able to realize that you hold the key to the manifestation of everything that you ever wanted in your life, then you open yourself up to just a completely different way of living. It's like, I don't, it's hard to explain, like it's a relief to know. I mean, I'm a Leo. I like to be in charge. I like to be in control, okay? I'm definitely a dominant personality type, okay? An alpha personality for sure. And I don't like the idea that life just happens and I just, it's nothing you could do about it. It is what it is. And, life gonna happen whether you want it to or not, like that makes me uncomfortable. The idea that I have absolutely no control in what happens to me in my life and in my world. And I think that's one of the things that really drew me into the law of attraction to begin with. Because what the law of attraction says is that this is something that is happening whether you're aware of it or not, right? Like, this is something that it happens every day. It has been happening since the beginning of time, and there is nothing that you can do to stop this from happening, right? That we create this world, we create the world that we exist in, via our thoughts and our thought processes, okay? That personal narrative. And so now that you are aware that this is happening and that this is going to happen, why not use it to your advantage? It gives you the option to participate in your life in a way that I think we are not conditioned to believe that we can. All right? And so when I talk about rewriting the narrative, what I'm really talking about is adjusting your thought process and taking control of your thought process in such a way that you can intentionally manifest the things that you would like to see happen in your life. Now, like I said, this is the overly simplified version of this, okay? This is definitely, I mean, if you're interested in getting more information, that's something that I'm more than willing to work with you on a one-on-one basis. Or I don't know, I might try to come up with some type of program or something like that. But there are levels to this. Like, it is a lot more involved, but that is a good place to start, is understanding that anyone who is willing and capable of erasing negativity and embracing positivity in their life is capable of manifesting the desires of their heart. Okay? This is the basic law of attraction. Okay, so rewrite the narrative, rewrite what it is that you're saying to yourself and what you're saying to the universe, what you're telling God that you want to see happen in your life. Try to, come at it from a place of positivity, even in the negative experiences. Look, bad shit happens in our lives, and I'm not saying you got to get over it, but what I am saying is that you have to move on at some point in time. There comes a point in your life when you have to take responsibility for your healing, okay? And you can either choose to continue to see those negative experiences as barriers and obstacles to keep you from manifesting, or you can choose to see the lessons that you can learn from those experiences, whether that is the kind of person I want to be, the kind of person I don't want to be, the kind of person that I want to keep around me, the kind of person I don't want to keep around me, the my values and beliefs, the things that I know to be true versus the things that I don't know or don't understand, the things that I want to see happen versus the things that I don't want to see happen. Like every experience, even the negative experiences, have opportunities for growth and learning. Okay, so you can, and that makes them positive. All right, that makes them positive and or at the very least, if not positive, worthwhile. Okay, not in vain. All right, not in vain. May not have been a pleasant experience, and there's probably nothing that could ever make it a pleasant experience, but that doesn't mean that it has the right to stifle you for the rest of your life. Rewrite the narrative. Rewrite the narrative. Think about your experiences in your life. What are the things that are continuing to hold you back? What are the experiences that have shaped the way that you interact with your world? Whether that is your money, whether that is your relationships or your career, your business, your career, whatever it is. What are the significant experiences in your life that still contribute to how you interact with the world around you? And what is it that you can learn from those experiences so that you can be about the business of growth and manifestation? All right? So that's the short of it, the long and short of it, I suppose. I just had that on my heart to share, and so I wanted to do that because I think it's important for us to understand, the connection between our thoughts, our feelings, and our behaviors. And so when we have negative thoughts and when we allow ourselves to be consumed with negative thoughts as a result of our experiences, it bleeds into our behaviors, it bleeds into our emotional processes. Those three things are connected, and that's just how human beings work. Okay, so those three things are highly, highly connected and highly correlated, and that's a different topic for a different day. I could spend an hour talking just about the connection between your thoughts, your feelings, and your behaviors. But what I want you to take from today is that intercepting at the thought level, right? Intercepting at the thought level is for most people the easiest place of intervention, the easiest point of intervention, but it's also most likely to get you to where you're trying to go. All right? Because the basic law of attraction states that the thought process is the key to manifesting the desires of your heart. All right? Okay. All right. So that's it on rewriting the narrative, Let me know what your thoughts are on that. If you have any questions or anything, shoot me an email at Unicorns Talk Podcast at latricesampsonrichards.com, or on Instagram, Twitter, and soon to be Facebook. But I don't know about Facebook, but I might do a Facebook at Unicorns Talk Pod. Okay. All right. Coming up next is High Five. All right, this week's high five. I actually have a double high five this week going to Shea Moisture and Tiffany Haddish. So I'm going to start with Shea Moisture, and make sure you look in the description box, y'all, because I am going to post a link to this video. But girl, have you seen Shea Moisture's new commercial ad for their men's beard line? Everything Like, this commercial is everything that is right with the world. Okay. Kudos and high five to Shea Moisture, and whoever was on their marketing team, because this ad is absolute perfection. First of all, beards. I mean, come on. Okay. Beards, men and sexy, well groomed beards. You cannot go wrong. That's first and foremost. Secondly, nobody wants to be with a man that have a old scruffy beard. Well, I'm not gonna say nobody. Some people like the scruffy beard. But I'm talking about like dry, harsh, itchy kind of scruffy, not like probably needed to shave yesterday kind of scruffy. I don't mind the day or two old shave kind of thing. I'm talking about hard and crunchy. So we already know that Shea Moisture does exactly what the name says that it's supposed to do. So it moisturizes. And a well-groomed beard is irresistible in my book. But this ad in particular, it showcases all different ethnicities, all different backgrounds. There's all different kinds of men portrayed in this ad, and I absolutely love it. I love that they got it right. Like, they really hit the mark in terms of showing diversity, in terms of showing that that it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a nerd, a blurred, a white dude, a Hispanic dude. I even think they had a Pacific Islander on there. Like, it all of these men are gorgeous, and they have something to offer. And that commercial, y'all, I feel like I'm rambling because that commercial was just so fucking awesome. That my friend one of my friends posted it on Facebook. That's how I saw it, because one of my friends posted it on Facebook. And when she posted it, I was the first one to respond, and the only thing that I could come up with was girl. And then she responded to my response, and she said, girl. And then another one of her friends responded to both of our responses, and she said, girl. Okay. So that is what this commercial does. So I'm gonna post it in the description box down there. There's gonna be a link to it in the description box. Do yourself a favor and check out Shea Moisture's this new commercial, and high five Shea Moisture. Good job across the board. Just giving us sexy, giving us urban, giving us chic, giving us diversity. I mean, I think you all hit the mark here. Good job. Good job. High five. My second high five for today goes to comedian Tiffany Haddish. So, y'all know I have a slight girl crush on Tiffany Haddish. I think that, I am just so happy for her. This is her season, and I am so happy for her. Like, I feel like I know her. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, I don't know. I get excited to see people overcome obstacles and really just manifest the dreams and the desires of their heart. And I've been watching Tiffany Haddish for a while now. I've had my eye on her. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm like a stan, but I don't really stan nobody like talking about it, unless it's Issa Rae. But but she has really worked hard at honing her craft and taking feedback from people. And she actually, this past weekend, was the host for Saturday Night Live with special guest Taylor Swift. And I don't know why I said that, but it turns out that she is the first African American female comedian to host Saturday Night Live. Out of all of the years that Saturday Night Live has been on air, they have never had an African American female comedian host. And so that is amazing. And I definitely tuned in, even though it was well past my bedtime. But I wanted to tune in to experience that, and she knocked it out of the park. And I just want to say, high five to Tiffany Haddish for following your dreams things and like doing it in your way. Like, I mean, I was watching the show as she was hosting, and the whole time she was true to who she is. She didn't like, try to commercialize or turn her back. Like, she was true to who she is. She was so ignorant, but y'all know I enjoys a little bit of ignorant every now and again. I think everybody need a little ignorant in their life from time to time. And so I enjoyed her. I think she did an amazing job. And so high five to Tiffany Haddish for breaking down glass ceilings, and going for the things that really matter to her in her life. And I think I actually saw, I did. I think she did an interview with the Breakfast Club, and Charlamagne asked her, did she ever think that this would happen? And she said yes. And I guess just to kind of bring it back full circle, right? Because we're talking about the law of attraction today, or we talked about the law of attraction today. So just to kind of bring it back around full circle, she said that she always knew that she was going to hit it big. She didn't know when, and she didn't necessarily know how, but she knew that this was going to happen because she believed that it was her passion, and she would speak it into existence, and she would keep focused on it. She had her thought process, tuned in to manifesting this goal. And so right now she's prepared to walk in this season because everything that she has been doing over the last however many years has been preparing her to walk in this season. She has communicated to the universe what it was that she wanted to see manifest, and her steps took her in the direction of the manifestation. And so, I mean, high five, Tiffany Haddish. You fucking rock, girl. And I'm so proud of you. And I'm definitely excited to see what's coming next. I know she has a movie coming out with Kevin Hart real soon. I don't know exactly when, but I'm looking forward to seeing more from her and actually seeing her grow and develop. And I'm just excited for her. Maybe one day, hopefully, I'll be able to get her on here as a host, as a guest here on the podcast. So if anybody listening has a way to get in touch with her, let me know, because I know she have a book coming out called The Last Black Unicorn, which, I mean, that's why I feel like it's like kismet, because my blog is called the Black Unicorn Project. And so I am all about the Black Unicorn, and so she has a book coming out real soon called The Last Black Unicorn. I am absolutely going to get a copy of that, and I'll let y'all know how that reads once I get to it. But high five Tiffany Haddish, high five Shea Moisture, y'all thebomb.com, for real, for real. Okay? All right, that's all I got for y'all today. Thank you so much for sticking with me and tuning in today. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you haven't already, make sure that you download, subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. Make sure that you do that, please. Let the people know that you enjoy the show. That is the best way that you can help and support me right now. Download on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, and SoundCloud. And pretty much anywhere, to be honest, like pretty much anywhere that you can listen to a podcast, you can find the Unicorns Talk podcast. But share with your friends, let them know, like, hey, this girl is over here talking some real shit, and you might actually learn something. Okay, make sure you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Unicorns Talk Pod. Shoot me an email if you have any suggestions for show topics, or if you want to just share or talk to me about your experiences with the law of attraction, or if you need some help figuring out how to enact the law of attraction in your life. Hit me up. Let me know at Unicorns Talk Podcast at LatriceSampsonRichards.com. And that's all I got for y'all today. Hopefully I'll be able to give y'all some more information real soon about the Vision 2018 Masterclass that's going to be launching pretty soon. There is going to be a registration for that, but I'll give you more details soon. It's going to be free initially, but you will have to register. And so hopefully I'll give you some more information about that real soon. I'm working out a few more kinks and things, but it is coming, and we will be talking about the law of attraction in that masterclass. And so I'm excited about that as well. I love y'all, and I appreciate y'all, And until next time, be well. Bye, y'all.